It is currently the year 4525 post the Great Severance, and the world is kind of in turmoil because of events that have happened in the last couple of years. And because of this, there's a lot of evil and darkness that is spreading throughout the world. So every now and again, groups of adventurers are sent to deal with some of these situations. The four of you have been ordered to go to a small island, of which you're not really sure what the name is, to go and investigate a possible source of darkness that is currently roaming there. You have no idea what the source is, you have no idea why it's there, but you do know that it has been there for a couple of weeks, if not even months. So you're currently on a ship towards this island. It is your last day of travel. You will. The captain has mentioned that you will reach the island in a matter of minutes. You can already see this like very small island, maybe at max like 3 hours to travel from one side to the other. You know that there's a small little village in the middle. And you're currently, I guess, mentally and maybe even physically preparing for what is going to be your mission. So, because of that, let's go around the table and describe our characters. And because I know that Sam doesn't want to start, I'll go from the back of the list this time. So, Xamani, let's start with you.
Okay. I'm playing today Xamani of the Lionhearts. He is a giant lion with golden manes and has two inwaves at each side of his head. He wears a shiny silver armor and wields a giant war pick. And he is very kind and very dedicated to his goddess Abraxa. Voila.
All right. Then next to you, you have a smaller figure. Oh my god, I can't even talk. Guldan.
You see, I am a rather large dwarf, going towards the 5 feet. I'm about 4 feet 10, so he's decently built. A bit on the heavy side, around 200 pounds. He has some tattoos, is still rather young for a dwarf, about 50 to 60, 50, 55 you should guesstimate him. He has no armor, just his loin is protected by some cloth, and he has a shield and a battle axe in his hand. And he looks fierce, but yet also strangely calm.
All right. Then Gerba.
So next to those two, you see a really small creature, since Gerba is a gnome. She looks to the younger side, but all in all, she's just the typical gnome, wearing one fancy cloak, though.
Just one, not multiple?
No, it's just one cloak.
Oh, okay. And then to end it, Lumina.
And next to the gnome, you see a human young woman with blonde, golden hair, dressed in spiritual robes with flame symbols on it. She's about average height, and she's like shining a bit. She has a mysterious, lighty aura around her.
All right. So, with the four of you currently on the ship, moving towards this small little island, you notice how the ship is just like taking the last bit of distance towards this place. You see how the crew is like, preparing everything to land the ship. and you see the captain, an older gentleman about 60 in age, just like walk towards you guys. Looks at you. All right, here we are. I'm guessing you people know what you have to do here.
Well, I just got this appointment very last minute. We just need to eradicate the darkness. My goddess is very good at it, so shouldn't be that much of a problem. Anything else we should know?
Yes, don't die.
Nice. Thanks for the advice.
Look,
Really?
I've had to do this a couple of times. Some of you people don't come back. Some of you people do come back. Honestly, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Anyway, be careful. If you need us, we're probably not going to move unless something comes towards us, at which point it's your problem. Just saying.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice talking to you.
If
I doubt it.
if we die, it's the will of the Lionhearts.
Well, then the Lionhearts are pieces of shit.
And they're lying hard.
Huh,
Oh, you
you funny.
trickster gnome.
You funny.
You're,
You know.
walk to the star means you're gnome.
Yes, fine. Anyway, we will be arriving in about 10 minutes, so get your gear, get moving. And he just turns around and walks back.
Can I do a quick pray to my godness?
Of course you can.
Okay.
That's what these 5 minutes are for.
Okay, I do a quick pray.
What
Alright.
if you don't have a goddess? Because you said it's for praying. I don't pray.
Then you tell bad jokes.
Okay.
Don't
And,
do it.
and you see Gerba running to some crew, starting to tell some dumb jokes to the crew.
God.
I sharpen my battle axe one last time.
Alright.
I also pray to my goddess, and after I see like Xamani like being done with his prayers, I go to him and I say, "Have you ever considered praying to our Lord and Savior Fireball?
Oh, come on.
We're going into a place where it's dark. You need at least light, and fireballs are very good sources of light."
I have only one godness, and that is Abraxa. Now
Well,
run.
I hope she protects you from the darkness. I know
Abraxa,
fireballs do.
Abraxa always protects me.
And this is the part of the episode where we talk about min-maxing. Oh god.
This can go on for 10 minutes, real time.
Like the entire mission is done and those two are just like still quibbling about like what god is better.
Best.
Anyway, so at a certain point in time the ship arrives at the island. You see the plank being pulled over so you guys can just walk onto a small beach that is there, so that you guys don't have to get your feet wet, unless you want to, of course. You know, it's your. I'm not your mother. So yeah, you guys can easily enough get onto the island, and at that point, the only directions you guys have is towards the village. But you do notice that there's like a small forest that's around that, so you guys can kind of pick what you want to do here.
I say let's go through the forest. Might
Yeah.
find some new things, and I'm always interested in finding some new things. That's like really fun.
All right.
Yeah, we might.
I prefer the forest.
Yeah.
All right. So just
Well, I guess the forest it is. The village had maybe people, but hey.
I mean, you have to go through the forest to get to the village, so
Oh, get to
it's like that. It's like that.
Oh, it's like that.
It is. All right. So, as you guys start traveling ever so slightly through the forest, can one of you guys, whoever's leading this, make a survival check?
I will do it because I would be so curious about finding new stuff. So
Okay.
Let me not guide you.
Oh, let me guide you.
No.
So Am I guided or not?
Let the light guide you.
So
That's a
Let the
D4.
light.
it's a D4 extra. Okay.
It's a D4.
So
yeah.
the survival roll and the D4. It's an 18.
18. So as you kind of start walking through this forest, it's a forest, basically. You see that there's a lot of trees. It's a pretty thick forest, which means you don't really see too far ahead. But with the 18, you do realize that there has been a lot of like activity from creatures throughout this forest lately. Especially, you see several of the trees that are slightly damaged, be it because someone or something clawed at it.
Do we recognize what type of beast?
Not immediately, no.
Does it looks like my claws or?
Doesn't look like a lion, no.
Okay.
Okay. Can I see which claw marks or something? Are it claws or beaks?
It seemed to be claws. Make a nature check.
Hey, let me guide myself because I have guidance too.
You do?
I do. No, that's a druid spell, right?
Yeah.
It's a druid. It's a druid cantrip. Yeah.
I took it.
Oh, okay. I thought you didn't take it because you said let
No,
me
no,
not
I
You
guide
said you were a druid, not a thief, because you said you took it.
40 total.
14. The best you can see is that it's from several different kinds of creatures. You can assume that there's something like wolves, maybe a couple of bears, but other than that, can't really.
So all creatures large or bigger, or
Yes.
Some of them, not all of them necessarily.
okay.
Okay.
Let's just say not the friendly type per se.
Okay.
So yeah. So that's really the best you can ascertain at this point.
I share the info with my compatriots.
Okay.
Compatriots or companions?
Companions?
Compatriots is for the same country, no?
We are not.
We are companions. We are companions, not compatriots.
8 intelligence.
9. Thank you.
I'm sorry. You're completely correct. My apologies. Anyway, so this side of the forest isn't extremely large. It's pretty thick, but it's not like it takes like a couple of like 15 minutes about to traverse it, you could say. And you very quickly do end up getting towards the village if you want to enter it. If not, then you can just keep looking around in the forest, but you know, that's your call.
No, I think we just pass through and...
Yeah. We should go into the village and check if there's any activity.
Yeah.
But we should be careful and watch out for stuff.
All right. So, the village itself, I mean, the first thing that you do notice is you saw these, like, claw marks and a little bit of damage that was done to the forest. The big thing you notice is here it's a lot worse. A lot of the buildings seem to have been torn asunder. Several of the buildings seem to be kind of, like, completely destroyed. There's roofs that are gone. You even see a couple of these buildings that seem to be slightly on fire. That are still like smoldering a little bit. Not that it happened recently, but like, you know, you get the feeling that a couple of days ago or something, some of these buildings were on fire. You see the same claw marks that you've been seeing throughout the forest. You see them like kind of shown here. This village has seen better days, let's say. And the biggest thing that you immediately notice is the thing that is not there to notice, which is the silence. It's extremely quiet at this current point in time. You were in the forest, you might have like heard a bird chirp or you know, stuff like that. You don't even really hear that here in the village. It seems to be extremely quiet.
I just yell, anybody home?
I yell as well. Hello? Anyone here?
I whisper.
Anybody
like
here?
to-
Anybody here? Anybody
I'd like to check whether the marks come from a specific location or specific direction.
What do you mean?
like the claw marks, like are they all over the place, like a 360-degree, like around the town, or do they
Is there
come
some
from
kind
a
of
specific
path
part
that
of
they're
the
following?
forest?
I would say, because you're a druid, what you would notice is that they seem to be all over the place, but you do notice that if there's a group of claw marks, they seem to be similar in age. So let's say that you, for example, you have one location where there's like claw marks that are like 10 days old, 15 days old, then all the claw marks around that would be also in that time estimate, whereas then in another location it might be like 5 to 6 days old or something. You get the feeling that this was like, okay, they came back a couple of times and they kept striking at specific locations and stuff like that. It's more like that.
Can I use my divine sense?
Sure.
Sense of like there's something.
What is divine sense exactly?
Yeah. Sort of.
Fiends, aberrations,
Yeah.
undeads, and celestials. Within 60 feet.
Says the cleric. Which is hilarious.
I'm a diehard paladin main in heart.
Oh my god.
He's a walking rule book.
With your, I think that's 30 feet or something, right?
Yeah, it's
60.
60 feet, sorry.
Yeah.
So with your divine sense at this point, you would not sense anything.
Okay.
So
I
the
wanna
whole
go-
town is
I want to
just
go a bit to the more smoldering buildings.
Okay, sure. So you go into one of them. One of these smoldering buildings seems to be really just like a house of a group of villagers. You see, like, you know, how do I say this? Like, if you kind of clear out a little parts of the rubble, you see how there's like a bedroom where the sheets were completely torn. You see a living quarters that was like completely destroyed. You know, it was a normal living house, and this is the feeling that you get with several of these. Except for maybe like, you know, like one that's a store. One of them a little bit further ahead, you do see like a small town hall, which is also currently completely just burned to the ground. Most of them are just like these small village houses, really.
Okay.
Are there in
Yes.
the building that
Yeah.
seems how do you say special?
The special ones would be either the town hall, as I said, a little bit more to the center of the village, and then there's a small chapel quite close to that, maybe like 10 feet, it would be a little further, like 30 feet away from it, like a small chapel, which is also completely torn. And other than that, maybe a couple of stores.
Is there
well-
anything made from stone?
Most of these things are made from stone, but they had wooden parts to them, like the roof was made of wood. Doors are usually made of wood. Most of these,
Could,
like the walls, are usually made of stone.
Okay. Could I, with my dwarven stone cunning, could I check how old these buildings are?
With your stone cunning, you would be able to estimate that these are not extremely old, actually. These are like maybe, I would say, about 150 years, something like that.
Okay.
It's you know, it's not like pre whatever era. It's you know, some of them may be a little older. Some of them have had to be rebuilt and stuff.
Okay. Thanks.
I will like to go to the chapel.
Before that happens, however, you guys did shout out. So at a certain point in time, however, you do, as you're kind of inspecting all of these buildings and kind of looking around, you do see one lonely figure, relatively large human male, about in his 40-something, wearing like this chainmail armor, wielding a sword, is just like kind of coming in your direction. Who's like, who just looks at you at this current point in time, is just like, Who are you guys?
Oh, good sir. We
I
want
just wave
to
like, hey,
clear
hi.
the darkness. The god of light and fireball shall light the darkness away from this island.
I have
Can
no idea what that means.
We
We're
came
here
here
to
to
eradicate
inspect.
the darkness.
We came here to inspect the source of the dark magic.
Yeah.
And get rid of it.
So like basically, we were told there was some bad stuff here, and I think what is hurting your village is what we're trying to solve here.
Yes.
Okay.
So like, could you give us some more information so we can find like everything? And
How do I know you're not part of this dark magic? You could
I'm
be
way too
lying
happy.
to me.
no, I'm not lying. No.
Can I
just
show
want to
my-
solve everything.
I cast light.
Okay. You
See,
see-
that's not dark. That is light magic.
Can I show my holy symbol?
Sure, you can. He just like looks at like the light that all of a sudden pops up from Lumina, looks at the holy symbol. I mean,
How can we show to you that we are... How can we prove ourselves to you?
I guess that's fine. He just like starts putting away his sword, looks at you. Just I'm watching you.
Okay. Do you need healing?
I'm fine. I have a couple, well, at this current point in time, one villager that's hurt, but yeah, other than that, most of us are still fine. At least most of the ones who are still left, I
I am
should
a
say.
cleric. I can treat her wounds if needs be.
That could be really helpful, thank you.
Where are the other ones?
We have a small house, one of the few ones that wasn't destroyed. It's not technically ours, but I mean, I don't think the original owner's going to be coming back
you-
anytime soon.
Can you take us there?
I can, yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, and he just turns around, starts walking towards like one larger house. I mean, I say larger, it's not extremely large. It still seems to be slightly damaged. There still seem to be some claw marks, like mostly at the door and at a couple of the window frames. Like one of the windows is completely shattered. But other than that, like it's still standing, let's say.
I just make an off remark like, oh man, they must really have an angry cat in here.
Yeah,
It's not me.
certainly. Cat, of course. He just keeps walking.
Okay, I think we follow.
Okay.
Yes.
So you get led to this little house, and pretty much little house, well, relatively large house, and just like opens the door. You hear this like giant creaking sound, like "Ah!" as it opens. You get led through a small corridor, and there you arrive in what seems to be a living room with about 6 other people. Two what you can assume are like couples of a male and a female. One of those 2 couples has like a about 14-year-old kid with him. And then you see this like really old, like I'm talking 75 to 80-year-old man lying on a makeshift bed, like made of a couple of like sheets that are kind of torn but still okay. He's just like laying there. He's just like
Are we talking human or?
all of them are human. Yeah.
There are no special
Nope.
races.
Not at this point. No.
Okay.
Is he the one injured? I ask.
And
And I point to the elderly.
yeah, he's the one that's not.
What happened to him?
And you just kind of see like this wound, like this bloody wound that like his just around his hip. It doesn't look extremely deep, but it mostly looks like, you know, filthy and badly how do you say that, bandaged.
I walk calmly to the guy and If he lets me, I'll put my hands on his hip and use Cure Wounds
Okay.
at first level.
All right. The moment you walk into the room, you immediately see these two couples. Like, the couple with the child immediately just, like, pulls their child relatively close to them and just, like, looks at you in fear.
Oh shit.
The other one just immediately start, like, backing off, just seeing this group of people just enter. You see the guy with the chainmail just like, hold on, we're here to help. Just looks at all of them, and all of them just like, okay, sure, yeah. Just still in like kind of defensive position, but seeing the other one just like say something to them seems to have calmed them down at least slightly. So you cast Cure Wounds. I mean, roll.
I will go to the couple with the baby.
It's a 14-year-old. It's not a baby anymore.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a baby.
No, it was a 14-year-old.
Whatever, I go to the child then.
8 plus spellcasting is +5.
Okay. I'll let Lumina roll first.
Yes, exact. It's a D8 plus my spellcasting modifier, right?
D8 plus 5,
Plus
I think.
5.
I will join Xamani to the kid.
Oh god.
All right.
I'm just staying in the doorway, just on my...
In the corridor, you mean, probably, because
Yes,
there's not really a doorway there.
Yeah.
Okay, so 7 hit points. He does look better.
The god of light and fire has healed you.
All right. He, kind of, he's not immediately answering. But you notice that his breathing is like slowing down a little bit. Seems to be more consistent. He's better. As Gerba and Xamani, you two walk towards the child. You see the parents immediately just like pulling him even closer, just like.
I just say like,
we don't.
Do you wanna pet the little kitty?
Honestly,
That was not my intention.
he's really cute, and I just start petting Xamani.
The strange thing that you immediately notice is, honestly, they seem to be more afraid of Xamani than of you.
What? I was. So they put away the child, or
they are like actively trying to get away from you specifically.
I will kneel to him and say to the child, Abraxel will protect you. And
I'm
will
still
try
petting
to reach
Xamani.
out my claw to him.
Okay. I mean, the kid has a lot less of a problem with this situation than his parents do, to be fair. Kid's kind of cute, clueless, and he's like, but, Kitty. Parents just like, you know what happened. You know how people of his thing work. He's probably just trying to trick us.
Did I miss something?
And you see the guy with the chainmail just like look at you. Be fair, you do look like the problem.
What have I done?
So
back up.
So we're looking for other lions.
And
I wouldn't say
Cat-like
lions,
creatures?
just more.
Sounds more like other wild beasts.
Yeah, it's more beasts. You look kind of beast-like. No offense. I'm sure you're a very friendly person.
I take another bow and say, sorry for the problems then. And back up.
At which point the parents just like calm down a little bit and they're just like looking at you like, okay. Sure. Yeah.
I just
So-
Make it awkward.
I just point my finger to the kid and use my message. To which I say to the kid, "I'm sorry, you can't pet the kitty. It's a really cute kitty, though." And I just walk
And I
back
slap
with
him.
Xamani.
You just all of a sudden see the kid just like look into the air and just be like, "It's okay." His parents just like look at him right now, just like, "What? Who are you talking to, dearie?" I have no idea. Parents just like look at their kid, look back at Xamani. Just like,
I did nothing.
what are you doing?
Don't worry. It might be just a word of a god or something. Maybe it was the word of Latender or someone.
Screw you,
Come
Sam.
here, Xamani. Come to the not doorway.
I go back.
So, you said beasts attacked.
Yes.
Where did the beast came from?
They usually tend to show up from the forests.
A specific
attacking
direction
groups.
of the forest?
They've
North, south?
been coming pretty much from everywhere, honestly. Been a real problem.
Okay. And do they like attack with a regular interval, like every 5th day?
No,
something?
it's usually at night. But it's been during the day a couple of times. They tend to try to attack, I think, every 2-3 days. We've had a moment where they attacked 1 week straight. We've had a moment where they didn't attack for 5 days. And they usually tend to drag off anything that they kill. Which is why I think you're looking at pretty much the last survivors at this point.
Which
Okay.
beast are they?
Bears, wolves. Had a couple of tigers. I think at a certain point in time we ran into a bat.
A bat?
Yeah, really big fucking bat.
And when was the last time they came?
Last time would have been 2 days ago.
So sounds like there's a decent chance that they might come soonish.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
And do you know where they come from?
We have no idea.
Maybe like set up some traps or something to try and catch one.
We've tried. They seem to be rather intelligent. We've tried to hurt them, but usually it doesn't really result in much.